Be sure to catch the next episode of Just Talking It Up on iTunes, Stitcher, your favorite podcast app, or on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
Hey, you forgot our names.
No.
You did. You forgot our names.
Don't be silly. I'm Janet, you're Crash, see?
She's just like a goose. She wakes up in a new world every day.
This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday morning, the 17th of December. Wow, about a week away from Christmas. Goodness gracious. Active weather this morning. Things calm down later today. Possibly more active weather later this week. As always, a lot to talk about, so let's get in there and look at things. We'll start with some of the Skycam shots around the network early this morning. First off, coming from downtown Jasper, where the sky is cloudy. For the moment, they are dry. The really heaviest rain is down to the south of there. The rain has tapered off in Demopolis. That's a look at Bluff Hall, the historic home there right by the Demopolis Civic Center. And way down south, that's the Alabama Gulf Coast at Gulf Shores, where they've got some stronger storms around. There's a look at the radar. That was at 5:03. And you can see the big rain mass that kind of sat over us has shifted south. Heavier rains falling along and south of US 80 this morning. But thankfully, overnight, we have had no severe weather issues, even down in South Alabama, despite the fact that this big trough is coming in. And, you know, the deal is the warm front just never made it inland. That was a mesoscale discussion put out by SPC early this morning. And you can see the warm front is just sitting near or just offshore. And that warm front really needed to get inland for severe weather, and it just didn't happen. So, again, thankfully, overnight, so far, no issues. Look at temperatures around the nation this morning. Back behind that trough, it is distinctly colder over the western states, and will be noticeably cooler tonight. But look what's charging up again in Alaska. As cold as 52 below zero up there this morning. Just something to watch. We all know at some point that air's got to move. There's a look at the watch warning map. A lot of winter storm issues up in the northern Rockies, the mountains of the Northwest. Big mess up there. See some blizzard warnings in effect. And but the east is pretty calm. Got some winter weather advisories up in the Northeast. Convective outlook for today. Risk of severe weather, mainly east of here. And they've drawn in the extreme eastern counties of Alabama, but primarily the risk is Georgia and South Carolina and on to the east of here. And this is something else to watch. Now, this is day 3. This is Wednesday. There's the standard slight risk to the west of Alabama during the day Wednesday. Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. And that batch of storms will be moving in here late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But the SBC guys have dropped the risk for Thursday due to the lack of instability, which makes pretty decent sense. We'll take a look at that as we go along here. And this is the rain for the next 5 days, valid through Saturday morning at 6 o'clock. So this counts any additional rain we get today and the rain we get with that next system. This is showing rain amounts of about really 1/2 inch around here. All right, model fans. This is the GFS, the Global Forecast System, the 06Z run at noon today. There's your trough coming in down below that. The rain should be moving out. The rain should be ending from west to east during the day. And temperatures today should be in the 60s. The high should be in the 60s, which is a little above average. We should be in the upper 50s this time of the year. The NAM is showing 66. Not so sure we get up there because of the clouds and rain. Tomorrow will be a nice day. Will be noticeably cooler early tomorrow morning. A low upper 30s to near 40. The daytime high pretty close to 60. Very nice day. I'd say that might be the nicest day of the week. Now, Wednesday, here comes your next big trough back in the western states. But during the day, we should be fine. Temperatures will likely rise with a southerly flow. We could reach the upper 60s on Wednesday. Sky partly sunny. No problems during the day. A big 993 millibar low is developing around Dalhart, Texas. And look at the snow potential for Denver. That could be a whopper out there. Okay, Thursday. This is at noon Thursday. You can see the best forcing with that trough is a little north of here. And down below that at midday Thursday, the surface low is very far north of here, near Chicago, 982 millibars. That could be a big snow there for Milwaukee and Madison, Wisconsin, if that's right, with a trailing batch of showers and storms on the front. And, it looks like another situation where the main window for storms in the early morning hours, maybe from 2 until 10 a.m., and that is when the air tends to be most stable, which will be one negative factor for severe weather. In fact, this is a look at the projected lifted index. And the lifted index, where you start to see the green colors, that's where it's negative, and you really have to go down to Mobile Bay to find any real surface-based instability. And the instability axis is just very marginal up through here. In fact, no surface-based instability. So that is a big negative for severe weather. We do note the bulk shear numbers are pretty high. This is in the lower levels from the surface to 925 millibars. And again, those numbers are quite supportive of severe weather. And we see this a lot in the cold season. Very low cape, high shear. And they can be problematic. And sometimes the instability can be a little higher than forecast. But again, based on that lack of instability, time of day, looks like it'll be a squall line. The severe weather risk for now is not overwhelming. And again, SPC has not put us in any risk, but something to watch as we get closer. Friday, the trough axis is well to the east, and we have cold air advection. Should be noticeably cooler on Friday. In fact, we'll probably have a hard time getting out of the 40s. The GFS is printing a high of only 52 with a chilly north wind, but the sky should be bright and sunny, severe clear. Saturday morning, we'll have a freeze. I think we'll be in the 20s to start the day. High Saturday should be in the middle 50s, and on Sunday, upper 50s likely. A little moisture starts to return, but for now, we don't see enough real forcing for any formal mention of rain there. All right, Christmas fans, what do you say? Let's take a look at Christmas weather. This is Christmas Eve, December 24th. We've seen all kind of looks out here, but now we're getting, this is within 7 days, so confidence is higher. And we've got a big old cold 1042 high that is over just north of Montana over Canada. But the upper winds are not configured to get a lot of that down in here. We've seen looks that have gotten it down in here, but this is suggesting just kind of a cool, uneventful day for Christmas Eve. Highs in the 50s, lows, upper 30s, and that is exactly average where we should be in late December here. And this is Christmas Day, December 25th. Boy, got a huge trough in the west. And down below that, forget a white Christmas. How about a stormy Christmas? We've got a 997 millibar low that's around Childress, Texas, with an environment that is increasingly favorable for rain and storms, if this is right. The day after, the 26th, look at that low at Chicago, 979 millibars. That'd be a blizzard for Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Des Moines. And down here, maybe some active storms. So all of a sudden, now for Christmas night and the following day, it might be kind of stormy and wet here. And again, this is subject to change. And then the end of the forecast, or toward the end of the forecast on the 29th, another big wet weather system. And this is the end of the forecast on January 1, 2013. Can you believe we're forecasting that here? Time does fly. Troughing in the west, and down below that, that's just cool and dry. So again, the pattern looks pretty active, changeable, and we'll see how it all plays out. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes on the blog. Next video by 4 o'clock today. Don't forget to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News, and the live stream or the TV side at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless. Who's got time to listen to boring radio shows? If you're going to listen to something good, like Eavesdrop.
My favorite thing about Christmas is not the presents.
No.
And it's not the million Christmas parties. And it's not playing Dirty Santa. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's about relationships.
I know. I know exactly where you're going with that, yeah.
It just is.
It is.
And take the time. What if this is your last Christmas and you never know?
Just talking it up.
They may use the name Jesus in a terrible way when they hit their thumb with a hammer by accident on Saturday afternoon when they're working on their car. But don't bring Jesus into a song and give him a beer. That ain't right.
Hey, I know a few of those folks myself.
Bama Talk Show.
But before we head for the Dome, we got business to take care of at home. So making plans for the throwdown in downtown Atlanta, we'll have to wait until that post-game rammer jammer rings in the postseason for Bama and the offseason for the Barn.
Auburn Unleashed.
that magical score that Auburn fans remember. 17-16 came out of that game, and Bill Newton was responsible for the chant, punt, Bama, punt. Bill, thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Adam. I appreciate y'all having me as the first guest on your show.
Worldview matters.
And we've been talking about a number of things. Last couple of times we talked about socialism. We moved from Islam to socialism, and we were going to continue today to do the same thing. But a lot of things have happened in the world in the past 10 days. It's heated up again in Israel. So I thought it'd be a good chance for us to talk about some of the things that relate to worldview as it relates to the Israeli situation and Egypt and all that's going on in the Mideast.
High school heroes.
And the plane goes right through the bridge and doesn't catch on fire. It's tons of stuff, man. Tons of unrealistic stuff, but hey, it was really cool, actually.
Warning, any of these shows can be addictive, and they are all fun. Listen on iTunes, Stitcher, your favorite podcast app, or on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.